Welcome back to the channel. We are back out on the pistol range today for what is probably the most unnecessary handgun I've ever had the opportunity to review or basically shoot. This is going to be one of the Magnum Research Desert Eagles, and as you guessed it, it is going to be in 50 AE. So huge shout out to our buddy Josh for letting us take a look at this, borrowing it for the weekend, putting a few rounds through it and kind of see what it's all about. But I have to say, this thing is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Other than, I mean, this is the epitome of a hand cannon. That is a fact. But this is the way it came, and I'll have to say, the one thing that I was kind of taken aback by whenever he first showed me this pistol was the box and stuff that it came in. I really expected a little bit more out of the presentation of the pistol for the cost. These things are like almost $2,000, and it is basically a cheap blow molded case with just foam that's not even glued in. So I was a little shocked about that. I figured they would have had something a little bit better, but you know, I guess it is what it is. The pistol itself came in this little Desert Eagle sock, so that's kind of cool. Keep the dust and everything off of it. But here is the business end. So we've got a really slick bronze finish on this one, and again, this is in 50 AE, so we do have a 7-round detachable magazine. It does have safety, 6-inch barrel with built-in Picatinny rail up top. If you've never seen one of these, pretty cool, guys, pretty cool. And one of the interesting things, now I'll be honest with you, I've seen a few of these. I've never really had the opportunity of really handling them and things like that, but you'll notice the bolt is very a la AR-15-ish. So it does have a rotating locking bolt, which is really cool. I'm assuming to help, you know, kind of strengthen everything up because of the round that you're using, which is just absolutely nuts. That 50 AE is huge, huge. It is a massive piece of lead. These are like 325 grain FMJ loads. So that is a serious amount of metal going down range. But another cool feature, you notice that the barrel is fixed, but the slide is this portion back here. It does have a safety, just blacked out sights, nothing major about that. But one thing I really liked was, believe it or not, the trigger in this thing is actually pretty nice. It's very a la 1911 feeling. It's kind of what I got from it. Let me see if we can get a pull weight on this sucker. Zero out our scale here. It is unloaded and pointed down range. So about 5.5 pounds. It feels really, really good. Reset. There you go. And the weight on this sucker, I mean, it is a absolute handful, guys. Let's get the overall weight on this thing. Throw the magazine on here. So unloaded weight, we've got 4 pounds, 4.5 ounces. So yeah, that is a huge piece of steel for sure. Finish is really, really nice. They did a really good job on the bronzing on this. I'm assuming it's probably Cerakote, but overall, it is a really neat piece. I brought my well-used Glock 23 to give you kind of a size comparison. This thing is massive. So you stop and think. Talk about an EDC pistol. That would definitely get the job done, but man, you better have you a good belt. That's for sure. I know a lot of guys use these for hunting, especially in like the 357 and the 44 Magnum versions. Be great for hunting because you could affix a nice magnified optic to the front of this without any issues at all. And the cool thing about these is you can actually swap out the barrels and stuff and change calibers in these. So you could swap this to a 357, a 44 mag, and I think there's a couple of others that you can do too on the same frame. So that's pretty neat. But I've got 14 rounds, so we're going to shoot those, and we're just basically going to see how this thing does. I have never shot a 50 AE before, so like I said, this is kind of a quick review, quick shooting video, just to get some initial impressions and just kind of see how it does. But let me readjust the camera here, guys, and I'll see you over at the range. Okay, guys, I got a few rounds loaded up in the magazine here first. We're going to try these on steel and see if I can hit anything with it. but I am going to roll in a steel shot of our 50 AE load as compared to a 45 ACP, so you can see the size comparison between the two, and it is absolutely massive. It is a huge bullet. But let's try our first few rounds here and see what happens. So stand by. Oh my gosh. Oh, didn't go into battery. Might have limp wristed it. Golly, son. Well, I have to say, other than it completely beating up your hand, it's actually pretty accurate. That's interesting. I think I kind of limp wristed that one shot. It didn't allow the slide to go back into battery, but let's get some more rounds loaded up and we'll finish this steel off. So I got our next magazine loaded here. Just wanted to kind of adjust the camera angle and let you guys see the steel getting ringed here with this 50 AE load. Stand by. Okay. Nope. Man. Like I said, interestingly enough, man, if you can hold your wrist steady, now I'll be honest, I have a very weak wrist. I broke my wrist a few years back and it's not quite been the same since. So that's probably where the failure to going into battery is coming from. But man, if you get that thing on target, it's actually pretty darn accurate. But let's take a final shot here and we'll get some final thoughts. All right, so I got our last round of 50 AE loaded up here. Now, Josh made me the deal. He said, I will let you borrow the pistol and I'll even give you some rounds of ammo to shoot for the review, but you have to shoot it one-handed on camera. So please say a prayer for my wrist, RIP for sure, but let's try it and see what happens, guys. Whew, okay. One-handed, oh my God. My gosh, yeah, you definitely felt that one, guys. But Desert Eagle Magnum Research 50 AE, guys, definitely something I won't forget to shoot. If you ever have an opportunity, definitely try one out. It's a load of fun. Probably the most unnecessary handgun I've ever shot in my life, but definitely badass. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, shoot straight. Later.